Why play Naafiri Mid Lane? Well, she brings a massive amount of burst damage. She has great wave clear, she's very mobile with 2 dashes, and she's a very strong roamer. However, she is on the squishier side, especially if CC'd, and she is somewhat reliant on skill shots, so she can struggle against high mobility. Naafiri's passive is she periodically summons little wolves. She can have 2 out at a time, and at level 9 she can have 3 out. When she hits an ability on a monster or champion, it reduces the cooldown for another to spawn, and when she kills an enemy, it reduces the cooldown by a small amount. When she hits an attack or ability against an enemy, the wolves will attack them for 3 seconds. Naafiri's Q is a straight line skill shot which deals damage to all enemies hit and causes them to bleed. This ability can be cast again shortly after the first cast, and if the target is already bleeding, they are immediately dealt all the bleed damage and take execute damage. And if this is used against an enemy champion, Naafiri is also healed. Naafiri's W is a point and click ability which causes her to channel to a target. Upon completing the channel, the target is revealed and she and her wolves dash to the target, stopping at the first enemy champion hit. Upon impact, she deals damage and applies a very quick slow. And while dashing, her wolves become untargetable and can hit their own targets. You can also cancel the ability while it's channeling and it will refund half the cooldown. Naafiri's E causes her to dash a short distance, dealing damage to all enemies she passes through. After dashing, she then deals damage again to all enemies within a circle. Her wolves will vanish during this time before reappearing fully healed. Naafiri's ultimate has a passive where her W gains additional range. The active causes her to despawn all her wolves and spawn the maximum amount of wolves she can have, plus an additional 2. She also gains a chunk of movement speed for 4 seconds, which is massively increased out of combat, and she reveals the nearby area, granting sight of all enemies. And then for the next 15 seconds, she gains bonus attack damage, increases the health of her wolves respawn faster, and her first attack or ability against a champion grants her a shield. Upon scoring her first takedown, the ultimate is refreshed and all her wolves are fully healed. An easy combo to engage is to start with your W into your Q, attack into your Q, and then follow up with an attack into landing both parts of your E. If you start with ultimate, the extra movement speed means you don't always need to start with W. So lead with your E into an attack, Q into an attack, second Q into an attack, and then use your W to chase them down. Or you can save your second Q for even later for increased execute damage. For matchup, she is an assassin at heart, so naturally she does well into immobile mages where she can easily get onto them and blow them up. And she can struggle against CC heavy mid laners who can lock her down and stop her getting damage out. For runes, take this. If she has 2 wolves up, landing a Q will cause them to dash straight to the champion and instantly proc electrocute. It's pretty great. For build order, start Blade and Pot or Longsword and Pot into Duskblade, Tier 2 boots and a Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver is amazing as her wolves will keep applying the stacks for massive damage. After this, a Servalda's Grudge and Rav Hydra are great pickups, with all of these being good choices too. For skill order, start Q then E then W before maxing Q then E then W, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Ignite. Starting the game, you want to focus on farming hard, poking where you can and taking good trades. While in lane, she can have 2 main playstyles. Firstly, she can simply hyper push the lane. This will give her access to easy backs or free roams. Otherwise, she can allow herself to be pushed in, which will give more room in the lane for when you want to engage in them and chase them down. Always look for opportunities where your opponent's in your minion wave where you can land a Q on them and push the wave at the same time. And when you hit level 6, your kill threat is immense. Entering late game teamfights, you want to play the assassin role. Wait for the fight to start and then enter onto the flank with your ultimate movement speed and 2 dashes. When you get onto a carry, you deal so much damage that they'll quickly disappear under you. From here, Duskblade will keep you safe while your cooldowns come back up.